Welcome to greencardguys.tv. I'm your host, John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States to help you secure legal status. Okay. So, as I may have mentioned earlier in other live shows, I know that a lot of y'all already filed your case. Okay. And that's okay. Whether you hire an attorney or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that you filed your case. Now, I'm hoping, of course, that you are eligible to file your application because someone had a meeting. Was it Monday? I had a meeting because, and they were concerned, rightfully concerned, because they received a denial letter, denial notice of 485 application, and I know this person. I know her parents. I helped her parents get residency, and so I know the situation. I said, "Didn't your husband enter America without a visa? So you need to have filed the waiver. Did you do that?" And she got it approved, or they got it approved. So that's great. And I'm like, okay, well, you had a lawyer. Like, what happened to that situation? I guess like a year passed by or so. And then somehow they got in touch with a notary. Apparently, they did not know that the notary was not an attorney. Yikes. But I can kind of understand because online, I just did a quick Google search. First problem is the company name had something legal. I don't want to reveal the whole name because I'm not trying to like hate on someone. I'm just trying to say it's buyer beware. Okay. You got to do a quick Google search. Okay. And notaries tend not to have a website. I have not searched a notary and found a website. What I have found is an Instagram page. Okay. And on that Instagram page was actually pretty clear. It said notary and paralegal, in fine print on Instagram. So, y'all, please do your research. Okay. Do your research of the people you're trying to hire. Okay. Please, buyer beware. No one else can help you with that part. It's like, when your Pookie Bear, your partner asks you to, hey, honey, what do you want to eat tonight? You know what you're doing. You're going straight to Google Maps or you're going to Yelp and you're checking, you're reading the Google reviews. So you got to do that for lawyers too. Look, it'll be our pleasure to help any of y'all. But I know some of you might be in the old ways and traditional ways and want to hire someone face to face. That's fine. I understand. We know a lot of attorneys across the country. So if you need a referral, happy to share it with you. But here's the deal. Most of the time, you're not even meeting. You're not going to the office that often anyway. Let's be real. And the other reason you probably want, sorry, I'm just connecting my mic here. See if this works. See if this mic works here. Yeah, mic check on stream on YouTube and Facebook. How's that sound? A little better? Okay, so just do your due diligence, please. Even if you're thinking about us, please read our Google reviews. Okay, we're very fortunate. We have over 350 5-star plus reviews, or over 350 plus reviews. Okay, so take a look. I think you will understand how we get shit done for clients. Okay, just from reading their comments. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up on TikTok. I'm on several platforms right now. So, and I'll be here for about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? Because I got more meetings. ATX Kansas asks general trends regarding AP reentry and separately AAO or BIA appeals. As far as I know, there's no processing times for any of that, really. Reentry, or you just mean AP only? If you mean AP only, well, yeah, AAO and BIA, I'm not aware of there's actual processing times for that. Okay, what I can tell you, these processing times, like naturalization, my team pulled 8 cities here: Houston, Brooklyn, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, and Dallas. I mean, this is from a couple months ago, right? But I mean, that doesn't drastically change that much within a couple months. But that's for naturalization. 601A versus 601. Their waiver application is 2 different scenarios at least. 601 can be filed in America if it's crime related, for example, and you got a court case. it's a complex situation. Like in what scenario, which one to file. 601A is for unlawful presence. Okay, if you're already here in America, and you have to have the visa interview abroad. Okay, so we do love to share that kind of information, but AAO and BIA appeals, I'm not aware that they actually provide that kind of information. So let's see here. Hope y'all doing good today. Happy Thursday. If on TikTok, if you typed your question and you don't see it, it's probably because TikTok hit it. I can see some of them. I don't know why TikTok doesn't show me all of them. If you want to join live on TikTok, I think it's over here, the little people icon. And if you want to join live on Facebook and YouTube, you got to email in and get the link. But by the way, ATX Kansas, you asked like 3 different. You want to know processing times for 3 different kind of cases? Why is that? Is it for you or your homies? You're a very nice friend to ask for your friends. Safina's comment is hidden. Let me see if I can understand this question here. Something about, is it true when you go for your citizenship, they holding you up? Safina, what do you mean by holding you up? Like delaying your decision, or what does that mean? Okay, let me go back up here. Now, if someone asked earlier, why is it, or not why, but is it a good time to file? Yes, it is. If you are eligible to file an application, it is absolutely a good time. Okay. Because first of all, just like I showed earlier, the processing times. If you have to file a waiver, especially, it takes a hell of a long time. Okay. And if you're gonna try to wait until Trump is out of office, my God, I mean, we still got 3.5 freaking years with this Cheeto guy and Stephen Miller. All right, you might not be able to wait it out and wait that long. Okay. Some of you have to wait anyway because maybe you're waiting for your daughter or son to turn 21. Well, that situation makes sense. You have to wait. For some people, like just had a meeting earlier, or some scenarios, they might not be able to apply through their children yet because of the age thing, but also maybe they have something else going on. Maybe they're a victim of a crime. Maybe you're a victim of trafficking. And there's something called T visa. It's not just, most people think of T visa as like sex trafficking. No, it's not just sex trafficking. It could be your work conditions, where you work. If you have really poor work conditions, and not conditions only like my office. It's not like I don't know. It just if they're threatening to you. So it's not just conditions like your environment, physical environment, but the actual like culture also. Okay, in that sense. So so a lot of different type of facts you could use for trafficking visa, and that's for people who are already here. Okay, even if you have an order of removal, you can still get U visa and T visa, and not have to worry about the court case. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. By the way, if you're new here, I can tell if you're new here, especially on TikTok, because you'll be copy and pasting questions. You do not have to do that. I actually recommend you do not do that, because then my finger has to do some exercise to move the questions around. All right, username 72627. We are waiting on the consulate in appointment in Juarez. Your documented qualified or complete since June 26, 2024. So that's a year now. When will you get an appointment? I mean, we generally say across the country in general, a minimum of 6 months, but you've been waiting for at least a year. So you might have already done this, but go ahead and send an email in as a courtesy, politely ask, if this is for you, then tell them same thing you told me, that you've been document qualified since that date. And you know what? Maybe show them some proof, even though they should have the information anyway. Because, at the end of the day, you might think like, why would I need to email? Because I'm not saying email every month, but there are a lot of applicants. So you can't assume that they have this on like a train track that every case is like, let's say just because you got document qualified June 26, 2024, that reasonably you would think, okay, someone who's one day before you, that they would have the interview date before you, but it might not. They might be very unorganized, which they usually are. Government agencies are typically not as organized as you would think. Yasmin, your mom went to her interview and was verbally told it was approved. Now it's in admin processing. Okay, so it sounds like you're talking about a visa interview abroad, outside America. That's unfortunately usually what happens. It's definitely not a quotation situation. If it's a administrative processing, sometimes they send a letter or provide you a letter that says 221G. That's officially administrative processing. They might not even ask your mom or mother-in-law, whoever's a visa applicant, for any questions. They don't even ask any like documentation. Her interview could have been 5 minutes at the window. 5 minutes. That's generally what people tell us, 5 to 10 minutes. And we tell clients, like, ask them if they need anything else. And they typically don't need anything else other than the short checklist, right, of items. And you think, oh, cool. That was good. 5 to 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, like within 24 hours, you get emails or you check your status and it's administrative processing. It's like the swamp. It's like I call it the black hole or swamp. It's ridiculous. It's stupid, really. And especially for countries in the Middle East, they put a lot of people in 221G. And they could ask for another form called DS5535, get the last, 10, 15 years of addresses and place you work. It's ridiculous. And you would think they do this beforehand, that they ask for it beforehand, but they don't. They want to waste your time. So if you know anyone in this situation I just talked about, just like Jasmine's mother-in-law, we generally wait minimum 6 months after that interview date, okay? The U.S. attorneys might prefer 1 year, but that's a hell of a long time. All right. All right, I got some questions on YouTube as well. Aziz, are you asking me, is it a crime in USA if you have been deported from Bahamas to Haiti before you enter USA? A crime? Not that I'm aware of. If you've been deported from another country? Okay. June's question says, you're new here? Okay, welcome, June. What forms do you need to start getting your husband's green card? You need some help, get a point in the right direction. Well, I mean, first thing is go to USCIS.gov. The thing is, USCIS does not, you might already know the main applications. The two main ones are I-130 and 485. The I-130 needs to be signed by the U.S. citizen or resident, and the I-485 is signed by the immigrant beneficiary. Sounds like for your husband, okay, June? But here's the deal. There's a lot more forms to it, and it actually does me no good. I could tell you all the forms, but I don't know your exact situation. I don't know if your husband entered America with a visa, or if without a visa, does he qualify for the exception to still have the case here? So I'm happy to provide you some guidance, even on a social media here. I don't gatekeep, y'all. I don't gatekeep. Tap the screen, hit the like button, the thumbs up if you appreciate the way I answer questions. I love to share information, but at the end of the day, for someone like you, June, if you want peace of mind, it is best that you schedule a meeting, okay? With the intent to consider, of course, authorizing us to help you. All right. By the way, without a visa, so most likely your husband needs a waiver. So it's one thing at a time. So it's kind of similar to the other person I mentioned earlier. If you enter without a visa, then generally the default rule is you cannot apply for the 485. You'll be wasting your money, $1,000 with the government fee. And plus you don't want a denial on the record. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else to share with you. By the way, if you do schedule a meeting, let me share. Okay. If you do schedule a meeting, please know there's a couple different types of meetings. If you schedule a pre-qualified meeting, That is with my client care specialist. They are not attorneys. My care specialist told me today to remind y'all that this meeting is not with attorney. Please know you're paying these fees right here. This is not with an attorney. For the love of God, please know that, okay? Because we're not here trying to mislead anyone, okay? But if you do want to speak to the attorney, absolutely, I understand that. That's the fees. I can share with on my TV. Okay, it's a little higher because when I have to go to the office, there's a little bit of drive. So, what's up? Oh, what's up, Mayor? Good to see you. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, you got to. It's been a while. You haven't needed to talk to me in a while, huh? Got approved in May. Well, that's a couple months ago. What you doing now? You going to the Bahamas? Going to the beach? All right. So, by the way, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, to find that link, you go down below in the description box. Okay. On any of my videos. So please know that we're not trying to mislead anyone to like schedule for a certain amount, like a lower amount, and you think that. I mean, so some people. Here's the deal. I don't want to be like belaboring this topic, but I used to offer free consultations, but obviously with a lot more cases, it's just like literally impossible. So just to be like you're working, saving up for a trip. That's good. A lot of law firms have to value their time. I don't think you'll hear this information from anywhere else. This kind of thing that we just talk amongst lawyers. And it's not like we value our time because we're chilling. I don't think you've ever seen my live show chill like this. Like I go live almost every day to share information and not trying to encourage you to like sign up with us. I'm just sharing information because I want to share and make sure you don't do the wrong thing. Okay. It's very important for y'all to know that. Okay. There are some people on social media, attorneys that are like, meet, and they're not really even answering question, like schedule meeting, but they're not answering question here. So you're trying to request to go live with me, but it doesn't move from the request to be live feature. Huh, interesting. I share an office with a couple other lawyers and they just close the door. Maybe I'm too loud. Okay. You're trying to request in? What was your name? Is it yes? IDP PLZ, thank you so much. Yesenia. Okay, let me see if I can find your name. Okay, invite. Let's see if that works. I think I clicked on the correct Yesenia. I hope so. Yeah, I did. Yesenia. All right, turn on my volume too, just in case. If you want the most value from a meeting, okay, please know, at least with immigration, it comes with a fee. Most personal injury attorneys do not charge a fee because on the back end, they get a percentage of your settlement offer or from your the damage award from the trial, okay? So that's why it's a key difference. Y'all got to know that. Y'all got to understand. Look, if you're going to have a free meeting, if you find an attorney that offers free meeting, I wish you all the best. But most likely you're going to be, if anything, not get value. Like we told someone, look, this is our opinion. If you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. They went somewhere else. They spent like an hour with that other attorney. Allegedly, it's a law firm. And I said, yo, they called us back. They actually called us back. And I said, yo, what happened at that meeting? And they're like, yeah, they told me we could do something. Okay, what they said they can do? I don't know. But they told me that we could do something. Okay, but what will they do for you? And you know what I said? Well, how long did that meeting take? After all that, you still don't know what they're gonna do for you? Yeah, it was like an hour. I was like, oh my God. That like waste everyone's time. You know what I'm saying? So come on, the live show is for you to understand if anything, in the pickle, if you're in a situation, okay? At least get some takeaways on this, okay? Yesenia, I clicked on you to invite you, but I don't know. So most attorneys will not tell you that. right? Attorneys are scared to tell you why they charge a certain fee. Okay. In my meetings with me or my attorneys, you will find out at the end of the meeting, even with my client care specialist, you will typically find out if we can do something for you and how we can do it and show you the receipts. We're going to show you proof of law. You just ask my team members that, okay? We're happy to share. Because I do not want anyone to file something and then they realize that they weren't even eligible, okay? I don't want you to waste fees on attorney, waste fees on a notary, waste fees on a government application, and then wasted all that daggum time, okay? You're welcome, ID LPZ. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, now off my soapbox. Let me go answer some more questions. VHIN, your mother-in-law got approved yesterday from USCIS. How long NVC process on the next step? Okay, congrats on that. The petition was approved. Well, the next thing you're going to expect is an email from the National Visa Center on the next step. Which, by the way, if you're wondering, like, what is the email that they'll use, the email address, email us and we'll send it to you, okay? Because you definitely want to make sure that email does not go to spam. That is a critical email. We call it like a welcome email from National Visa Center because it's going to be the first email you're going to get next after petition I-130 if the family member's abroad, right? So, because that email includes two critical numbers. It's a new case number based on the embassy or consulate in that country and a bunch of numbers after that. And then a second number is invoice ID number. You need both of those numbers, sets of numbers, to enter the portal, okay? The ceac.state.gov. Enter that portal and you got to pay the fee, okay? If it's one for one person, it's $445, okay? Split up into two different fees, okay? So anyways, that's the next thing to expect. See, I did all that in what, 30 seconds? Okay. You don't need a full hour to talk to an attorney for your question. So you appreciate this, how I conduct my live show. If you don't mind, my marketing team asked me to tell y'all, please go ahead and follow, subscribe, click the bell. Okay. If you've been here for 30 seconds, I think, and you're still here, then click the plus sign. All right, Yesenia, I tried to get you on, but I guess it didn't work. But your question is, should you wait to receive your dad's interview date before you schedule his embassy medical doctor? Yes, you have to, actually. The medical clinics abroad will not schedule an appointment until you get the interview date because they want to see the proof of the interview date. And I think because if I were supervising that office, it's because the medical exam is only valid for a certain amount of time. So it'd be a waste of time for your dad and also the medical clinic if you do it too early. Okay. It's difficult to time it right. And let's see. By the way, Mayor, if you're still on, how long did your case end up taking? Tatiana, if Department of State denies your J1 waiver, which waiver did you file request, by the way? There's a couple different types. Does USCIS automatically deny it also? You mean the 485 application? Oh, the waiver itself? Sometimes, but if you're talking about the waiver only. But let's talk, okay? Schedule a meeting because there's a couple different types of J1 waiver options. So let's make sure that you pick the easier one, okay? Let's see here. Let me make sure I go into YouTube and Facebook as well. Give y'all some love here. Someone named me on YouTube asked, is it advisable to file I-130 for spouse now who will need a 601A? Seems like an invitation for arrest. in indefinite detention since bond is gone. Look, bond is not gone. Okay. I know a couple attorneys recorded some videos, they were sharing experience. The thing is, it is in our freaking blood as immigration attorneys, for most of us, I hope, to fight back. Okay. Just because one judge, 10 judges say no bond, F that. We're going to fight back and we're going to find an exception. So we've already coordinated with some attorneys to make sure there's an exception. Some attorneys that don't effing read the law will just give up. Isn't that crazy? Urgh. They don't fight back. Okay. So you gotta hire an attorney. If you're gonna hire a law firm, I'm a little, revved up by this situation. This is what our law firm's made for situations like this, okay? When someone like Cheeto's in office, because we have to expect the worst, okay? So there are some options. Not everyone will qualify for a bond, but that's the first thing we're going to do is do some preliminary work for your case to see if your family member or friend, if they're detained, if they're even eligible for bond. Okay. Did I even answer your question? Let me see. To answer, so I was answering part of your question, really. So yes, I would still file the I-130 because first of all, I-130, if your spouse is even your spouse is here but cannot file 45 because no entry, I-130 will take 12 to 15 months if it's without the 45. Then after that, you got to prove for that. 601A, as I shared earlier, will take about 3 years. It's been tracking this amount of time for ever since the pandemic. You guys are not going to like this. Before the pandemic, you want to guess how long this case was taking? 601A? No, I'll take a stab. Put in a number. How long? Guess. Okay, just take a wild guess. How long do you think this took, the 601A, before the pandemic? Before the pandemic. Now it's taking about 3 years. Isn't that nuts? 6 months? Okay, that's a good number. All right, that's a good number. Come on, a couple more people guess, okay? I want to see what y'all think here. But this is essentially why you should file now. It's not, look, if you're worried like immigration or some agency has information on you, or they don't have information on you until you file the application, I hate to break it to y'all. With Palantir, they probably already know where you at, okay? So you might as well take advantage of the situation. If you're eligible to apply for immigration benefit, even if it's not the whole shebang, not the 45, but at least the I-130, get that done, okay? For the love of God, you could do it online. The I-130 is allowed to do online, okay? Someone commented, joined the live show the other day and said that they ended up filing an N400 because I had advised them that you could do it online. You could if you spend 30 minutes on a live show, you could file your I-130 and at least get it started, okay? 8 months. You're right. Miss Toos guessed 8 months. Username 7262 guessed 6 months. So yeah, it was about 6 to 8 months. Can you believe that? Before the pandemic, 6 to 8 months. And they're still claiming lack of personnel. And you got Doge coming or got in there, want to fire a lot of people. So I do expect, unfortunately, that this processing time could get worse. And you know what? I actually kind of think y'all not going to like this. I think these processing times are manufactured, aka fake. I think they're just making people wait. Okay? Yeah. I gotta get off. I gotta stop complaining. Let's see. Let me answer some more questions. All y'all's questions get me frustrated because even though I love to answer your questions, I don't like what the government's doing. It's frustrating. So that's part of our job, right? If you end up hiring an attorney, our job is to be frustrated for you because we already know what's going on, but we will keep you updated. Okay. Trying not to miss anyone. I think the next person on TikTok is Marnouche, if you're still on. For TN English category, ENG, or maybe you mean engineer. I think you mean engineer. If the annual salary for part-time job is very low, can it be an issue in the interview? How low? How low you talking about, Marnouche? Yeah, I mean, it could be a problem even though there's not a requirement for minimum salary, they could think it's a little suspect. But part-time job, anyone can get it full-time, even though part-time is allowed. I just think it is kind of weird for have an engineer position for part-time. I don't know. Okay. Uh, let's see. Batty on YouTube you did your interview yesterday. Everything went well. They gave us a paper. Your cases bring help for review. Oh, they're gonna bring it up to the supervisor for review. Yeah. So if it's the first box on that letter on the 485 interview, that is typical for the first box. That doesn't mean it's a bad. That it's not a default bad thing. Okay. If they don't, since they didn't give you a like a pretty good idea on the right after the interview, then it's going to go up to a supervisor just in case. Sometimes the officer is like senior enough that they don't need it to go to a supervisor, but it's for their consider like their quality control process, even though they could have just approved you on the spot, you know. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. If they didn't mention anything in person about RFE, no concerns like that, then most likely you won't get a request for evidence. Okay, Batty. And even when some of our clients got that, didn't get a on the spot decision. Fortunately, even like less than a week, we'll get a decision. Okay, let's see. If you want to join live, you all are welcome to do that. I'll be here for maybe another 10 minutes. You can join live on TikTok. It's right over here. Okay, on YouTube and Facebook, you got to email in for the link. A Vasquez 49. Can you file 601A while the TV says pending? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can. There really most applications you can file at the same time. Even if you have one pending, you can file another one. Also, because most applications require dinero, they want your money. Oh yeah, USCIS. As far as I understand, USCIS does not receive funding from the federal government, not from Congress. It's from y'all. They want you to pay. All right, let's get Asha on. She wants to join. Hello, Asha. What's going on?
Hi, good afternoon. How you do?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I would like to find out. My case has been sent to NVC on the 17th of September,
Okay.
and my mom is overseas. We in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
We already received our invoice and the case number.
Okay, you got the case number. Okay. What did you say was going?
She started our sponsor in 2020.
Who's the sponsor? Your grandma?
My mom, she's a green card holder.
Okay. Filing for you?
Yeah.
And are you over 21?
Yes.
So F2, yeah, F2B category then? Okay. And then what else has happened? Has she uploaded the financial documents to the portal?
I don't know. That's the reason I'm asking, like, what's next?
So it sounded like you said that she received the email with the two case numbers, right? Or case number and invoice ID number, maybe?
Yes, the
Okay.
invites and the GEO.
Okay, that's good so far. So then, did you or her use those numbers to enter into that website, ceac.state.gov?
Yes, when we entered, it marked the case at NVC.
Okay, I don't think that answered my question because it didn't sound like you were confident in answering my question. Did you or your mom, probably your mom, enter on the website those case numbers, ceac.state.gov. It's okay if you didn't. I just want to make sure you're on track. If you don't know, it sounds like a no. So ask your mom. Ask your mom that today. Yeah, you don't know it. So just be upfront. So for anyone who is on right now on the live show and you have an attorney, just be upfront. We're just trying to help you out, okay? So ask your mom after this live show, and then because that is a critical step. I mean, every step is critical, right? One after another. So now that you got those two numbers, case number and invoice ID number, you enter it. It's like a login, basically. You get in there. Someone's got to pay. It doesn't matter if it's you or your mom has to pay the fee. It's $120 plus $325 per person. So I don't know if you have kids or not, or your spouse, it's $325 per person. So
yes, I have kids. I have 3 kids.
3. So that's $325 times 4, including you. Okay. Plus $120. You got to pay that and then do the next step.
Case when it happened, it not paid as yet.
Not paid yet? Okay. So you got to get that done first. Okay. All right. For me to explain all the other steps, that's more like a webinar type thing, or it could just, if your mom doesn't have an attorney, you can share my information. If you share the TikTok, she might not care about my TikTok. So just share my website. Okay.
So she got to pay the fee.
Yep.
Before we get moved from NVC.
That's just the next step. There's a lot of other steps, though. That's why you should also ask your mom if she has a lawyer.
Yeah, she takes some girl in Liberty, New York, named Melissa.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you know her.
Melissa? I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of lawyers, but yeah, just make sure it's an actual lawyer, like licensed attorney. Okay.
But she said you don't have to pay as yet, said a visa not available.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean the priority date has to be reached. Yeah, I mean that's sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. I got a little excited for you. Yeah, priority date. Do you know what is the priority date in general?
No.
Okay, you gotta find my you're gonna have to email us so my team can send you the YouTube video about it. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, email us to find my email. Go to the profile. It's right there.
She said when the date available, then you have to pay for the visa.
Yes, but in this kind of situation, even though your mom is the sponsor, she might be busy. So if you're wondering, like, okay, what is the visa bulletin? When is it going to be ready for the next step? You have to educate yourself too. I try to make it easier for y'all. I got a video on YouTube, so my team will send it to you. Okay. Even though you have an attorney, that's okay. I'm sure other attorneys, I have attorneys that join the show too, and I think they probably appreciate the way I do the live show, save them some time, which is kind of hilarious. But anyway, I hope that helps for now. Okay. There's a lot more I can say, but you got to watch the video. This is TikTok. We're trying to make this quick. What's going on? What you got next?
So you could pay like any time before the date available?
No, you cannot pay yet. That's my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait on it.
Mm-hmm. For now. I mean, you could enter the website, get in the website yourself if you have the case number.
Can you please tell me like how much year it take, like for mother and children sponsoring?
How long? Oh, I can't tell you that. I don't know your case details. You should ask your mom's lawyer.
My mom is a green card holder.
Yeah.
We are unmarried children over 21.
Yeah, I understand that part. I gathered that information already. I'm talking about your priority date. If you don't know what your priority date is, you probably need to talk to your mom about that too. Okay. If your mom doesn't know, that's even a bigger problem. Then that means you need to talk to your mom's attorney. So you have to verify if it's even an attorney. Like I would say at least 25% of people I talk to, they have hired a notary, not an attorney. Let's put it this way. Anyone can, I want to curse a lot, but I shouldn't. Let's try and make this family friendly today, huh, guys? Anyone can fill out forms. That is not why you hire an attorney. That should not be why you hire a notary, even though some people do. You hire an attorney or law firm for the legal strategy to know when to do the next step, right? But I share a lot of information online, YouTube, all these channels. So email in, okay, wecare@greencardguys.com. My team will send you the video. Just type in the subject line, YouTube video, visa bulletin, okay, or priority date, and they'll know what you're talking about, okay?
Okay, thank you.
That doesn't cost you anything. All right, wish you the best. Take care, Asha.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Do I need to be a life coach next in my next career? Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of steps. Thank you for sharing, Yesenia. Okay, Ari Erkosh. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. And then on deck is Hanan Kambo. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much for taking the call.
Sure.
So my asylum was approved 4 years ago in 2021, and I'm preparing to apply for an 400. I was just wondering, is there any way I can apply this year, or do I have to wait until next year?
Okay, let's take a step back here. So you said your asylum was approved, or the green card for asylum?
No, it was the asylum.
So after asylum, you have to apply for the green card.
I have my green card.
Oh, you have the green card. Okay. You skipped that step, I think, to telling me the facts. So now how long have you had the green card?
3 years.
3 years? Okay. Let me check that. Okay. I'm losing 3 years. The only thing I can recall now, based on 3 years filing, is if you got it through marriage, but you didn't.
No.
So it's a 5-year rule.
When you get it through asylum, the day you get the green card, they actually write you as a resident a year before the day they give you your green card. So I'm resident since 2022.
Okay, then 2022. What is it now? So it's about 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. So yeah. So I don't recall it being shorter time to apply for naturalization to become a U.S. citizen if it's based on asylum to be 3 years. But maybe I'm wrong. I just have so many numbers and timing in my head. But if you want to DM me, I can ask a team member to check on that. Okay. But everything by typically a 3-year rule to apply to become a citizen is if you got it through marriage, which is not you, and the default is 5 years. It's technically 4 years and 9 months. Okay, so
4 years after green card?
4 years and 9 months. As soon as you hit 4 years and 9 months, you could file it, mail it, okay? Or online.
I saw somewhere that now they're allowing people to send in their application 6 to 9 months ahead of time, before, like as long as your paper gets there and the adjudication is the time when you've hit the 4 years and 9 months, it should be okay. Is that the case, or
no? Maybe a day before. It's really at the time of delivery, like when you mail it out, FedEx or something.
Because I was working as an interpreter with the USCIS with the Afghan evacuation cases, and they were saying like with your after your asylum approved, you can send in your green card application, because the important thing is that once it's time for adjudication, it has to be 1 year since you've been on the U.S. soil.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about that anymore. That's for residency.
Well, no, I know, but then I heard that it's the same for in 400, that if you can send it ahead before your time for citizenship arrives, but that's not the case.
No, only 3 months before. That's only not 6 months. I mean, that's still pretty good.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Look, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, right? I'm just one guy. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Fact check me, okay? And let me know. Come back to the channel. I'm not a type of attorney who's like, I don't got this big old ego. Like, I know everything. I try my best to know everything, but my God, when Cheeto's in office, there's so much, everything's changing, but things like that typically don't change. Okay. Policies change. They can change literally every freaking day. So, but yeah, whoever told you that, whoever tells you something's like, that seems a little funny. Like 6 months before or whatever, a year before. Okay, fact check it. Get some proof. Ask that person for some proof. Show them, what is that trend on social media? Show me the receipts. I'm happy to share. All right, let's get Hanan combo and then Adriana, and then I'll have to call it. Okay, I gotta eat something before I fall asleep. Hello, how's it going?
Hello.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So I've had my green card since November of 2018. My daughter, who turned 21, filed for me. She's a US citizen. And I've been in and out of the US for sometimes 3 to 4.5 months at a time. I go back home to my home country.
Okay.
But I always make sure I come back in, never, 6 months or above. I counted and I tried to keep a track of all my travels in and out. So far, I had about 42 months physical presence in the US. I'm now ready to file for my citizenship. So my only fear is if my trips, even though there were nothing 6 months or above, would raise any questions for me. Fine.
Yeah, as long as you had, so it's 5-year rule for you. So as long as you had at least minimum 30 months in America, and plus you said you weren't outside more than 6 months in one
Right.
trip. So that's good. Yeah, you need at least more than half the time in America, which sounds like you said 36 at least.
Yeah, 42 total.
42.
Now.
Okay.
Yes, 42 months. Yes.
All right, that's good. Okay, but yeah, if you want us, my team, to verify, the best thing is to schedule a meeting so we can take a look at it. Okay, because
Okay, so how do I go about that?
Oh.
Your number, your email.
Yeah, so you're on TikTok, right there. That's the number.
Let
Okay,
me just picture that.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, so you can meet. Oh, I don't. You can meet with virtually if you want to. Where are you located?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay, that's what, 2 hours from Houston. I'm in Houston, Texas, by the way, everyone.
Oh,
But you can meet virtually. You don't have to drive here. We use Google Meeting these days, and if you want to meet an attorney, it does cost this amount. But if you want to, you can meet with. Let's see, where's my other image? Oh, this one. Okay, if you just text in or call in during a live show, like right now, just to reserve your place, I guess it'll be this amount right here. Okay.
the $5.
Exactly. If you just want to make sure that we can even file for you, right? Whereas meeting, if you're wondering, like, if anyone's wondering, like, well, you don't get to meet an attorney for this kind of meeting, pre-qualify, but our legal team reviews everything before we try our best to review it before our team members meet someone like you, right? So then that saves you time, right? Because to meet an attorney, we have limited time. Maybe because I'm on a live show so much, but I have to go to court and travel for court as well. So, but we have limited spots, so take advantage of it. Because I think timing wise, it sounds like you're about ready timing wise to file it.
Yeah.
You're eligible.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you so very much. Yes.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
You too.
Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. There's a lot, of course. Alicon, the processing time is not accurate. Yeah, I know they're not accurate. I don't have time to update it every month. It's not I don't have the time, but they're not much different. I think Alakan, yours isn't yours I-130? I'm pretty sure it's still 17 months. Is it not? How far off is it? Let's see here. If Ms. Toos asked, if you're filing for adjustment of status, can the paperwork be sent before the payment? I don't know what you mean. When you file any application with the government, most of the applications require a fee. And if you mail an application that is required a fee and you don't provide the payment, they're going to reject your application. So don't even mess with that, okay? Because by the time you get it back in the mail, who knows, maybe you moved, you didn't update USCIS, or if they do mail it back to you rejected, it could be several months later. You never know. Sometimes their mailroom is slow. Maria Lacerda, what is going to happen with people with U visa, bona fide letter, and work permit? You encounter ICE, perhaps get arrested. Will the person be deported or be in jail forever? No, it's not. It's not typical. No, it's typically you will have an option to request bond to be released. ICE does have discretion on a case-by-case basis to release someone. I mean, you guys probably saw the video about this Marine, this father of a Marine. His father got beat up by punched in the face or something by these I guess ICE officers, bounty hunters, and it's very unfortunate. They released them. I just saw the video today, so maybe you haven't recently. Got released for $3,000 freaking dollars, and you might think, oh, 3,000 is a lot. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes judges will require 10,000. Isn't that crazy? And then so one of the ways they got him out is because the son was in the military, a Marine. So that's called military parole in place. All right. He should not have even been detained in the first place. Okay. So it's kind of ridiculous. Isn't it kind of a backward system? I kind of wonder if the bounty hunters are getting $1,000 to $1,500 and then just to come around. Just to come around and then get released anyway. It's like, what's the point of paying these bounty hunters? The government's losing money. Doge needs to go into freaking DHS and ICE and just fix that too. It's crazy. JM, just a comment. You found great value in my videos. You asked a couple months ago about corrected N400 application to include traffic citations. You followed my direction. You made the correction at the interview. Also, had made a comment that if the citation were disclosed, immediate to now. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, happy to help. I mean, there's a good amount of scenarios like you don't need to schedule a meeting with me or any of my attorneys for a question like that. You know, I'm not saying it's like not a big deal for me to answer, but a lot of attorneys are scared. They're scared to share information. I don't gatekeep over here. I love to share. Okay. What comes around goes around, right? Like I would like to share, like if I have a situation in a different country, I help people share with me what I need to do too. I don't know if that was the best analogy, but anyway, I'm glad that worked out. Did you get a decision yet on your N400 JM user? Okay, let's get Adriana on. Sorry for your waiting. Hello. What's going on? Adriana?
Yes.
Hi, how are you? How can I help you?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Thank you for answering.
Oh, sure.
Okay. I'm in the process of. I've had a permanent residence since 2006.
Okay.
But I went to prison in 2015 for 5 years.
Okay.
So I went to after being in Alabama for 5 years. I became a paralegal, studied criminal law, litigation, family law, real estate law, whatever. So they sent me to Louisiana to deport me because of aggravated felony. Okay, I was in real estate, and well, didn't know about the fraud that the mortgage broker and the title company was committing.
Oh.
But I had a charge of conspiracy to commit the fraud. And they came after whoever was working with that company in 2015. Because of the lady from the title company committed a huge fraud, 200 people involved, and then her lawyer, in order to get a lower sentence for her, snitch over us. So my lawyer at that time, a lawyer for the government, told me that if I didn't plead guilty, I was facing 25 years. Of course, I pled guilty. I didn't know better at that time. So I was going to get deported. A little fought for my case, So they released me under supervision. Every year I had to send to immigration.
Right.
Anyways, I got married with the guy got sick. Now I have a hardship, So I went in front of the lawyer 2 times, and I'm fighting for my case.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know. I was searching, and I know I had to present I-485, I-130 for the marriage, and 601A. Am I right? 601A?
Yeah, but it's not really.
There's good chances, at least last year, 2 years ago, when I got married and I went in front of the judge most likely was gonna not terminate my permanent residency because of the hardship. My question is, when you charge, your service, you include all of the the 485, the I-130. I know that they have charges, fees for each application. But do you charge differently, or is included in the package?
601. Did you say you needed? Did you file all these applications already though? No, not yet. Okay. Yeah, I mean some. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Sometimes depending on the situation, if we already know that we need to file a waiver, 601, because let's say because of the crime or misrepresentation for like other people, then we'll go ahead and include it in the quote. Okay, but there are some clients that they tell us like they think they need to file a waiver, but then we're like, you know what? Let's wait on that because it's not a crime; it's a different situation, and it worked out. So we try to save clients money. But yeah, definitely your situation need to file a waiver. So typically we would include it. Yes.
So is there a charge like let's say, for a heck of saying a price, let's say that you guys charge $10,000 to represent me.
Okay.
And I have to pay for each one of it apart, I guess, like the application.
Like a payment plan?
Am I right?
You mean like a payment plan or something?
No. The applications,
Yeah.
let's say the application for 485
yes.
is, I don't know, let's say 450. I don't know how much it is. So,
okay.
The 601 is what? How much is it?
So it's I think almost $1,000.
So I have to pay you $1,000 plus your service. Your,
Yeah, the government fee
your
plus
yeah.
basically at the time that we or like about at least no later than 1 week before we file the application to the USCIS agency,
Okay.
we do ask for the payment, okay, for the
Okay,
government fee. So
okay.
we'll file it, we'll pay
Do
it for
you-
you
do
on
you-
your behalf.
Okay. Do you guys represent somebody? I'm in Florida.
Yeah, we help clients wherever they live. You're in Florida, Greenland, Alaska. We can help anyone, anywhere. We have Google meetings, but
I also wanted to ask you. My husband, since we met and got married, to now he went downhill and he started having a little bit of dementia.
okay.
And it's been hard, really hard. I have to stop working. I mean, I work here and there. It's a mess.
Yes.
It's a mess, you know. From being a realtor, of course, they revoked my license. So now I'm cleaning houses at 64 years old, which to me is like, I've been in the country for 40 years. You know, I've been in this situation. I want to, you know, like, I don't know. It's really hard. So my question is, I know you always say that whatever the judge decide or immigration is has to do with case by case.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay. So
Yes.
my question is, the judge. I want to present myself. I didn't have a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer.
Okay.
So the judge sympathized with me. You know,
Yes.
like whatever. And I said with somebody that he was like had cancer and this and that.
Yes.
But right now he's going downhill. From the moment that I got married to now, he went downhill. So I don't know. I was talking to his doctor to put him in a nursing home. I don't want to, but that point is yesterday he wanted to hit me, you know, like so it's going really bad.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not gonna divorce him, but I don't know what to do at this point. So I don't know if putting him in a nursing home will hurt my case as well, you know. As hardship.
I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, I don't know how that works in terms of who, like, do you have to pay nursing home? Even if someone's in nursing home, you may, you know, you still visit and may help out from time to time, of course. Not necessarily depend on the nursing home team, staff 100%. So I think there's still room for argument.
I want to make sure you guys have representation here in Florida. Isn't it?
We don't have an office in Florida. I would love that. You know, you guys tell me what city are you near? Are you near Miami or where?
Well, I'm 1 hour from Miami. I'm in Broward County.
Broward County?
So 1
okay.
hour from Miami. Miami is in Dade County. And usually you guys should open an office. You know, I have all the people that I know that was incarcerated are looking for lawyers. So I would be pleased to help you out with that. Because
you know, hey,
I
mean, we're always
all the Cuban people are, you know, going crazy to get a good lawyer here. So maybe you know, I can help you out with that.
Hey, you never know. I'm always looking to hire, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, there's some good lawyers, of course, in Miami. I know. Worst case scenario, but I appreciate
I've been
that.
searching and I like, you know, I follow you.
Oh,
so
thank you.
I like the way you.
Thank you.
You seem really
serious.
Trustworthy.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm Hispanic. I'm from Argentina, so
Oh,
me
okay.
sometimes putting wording in perspective is kind of.
Oh, okay. Está bien. Okay.
So you said that the 601A is what? Is a pardon? Is a waiver? Is what?
So for you, well, first we want to review your criminal history. Okay. Even though you sound like you said you didn't do anything wrong, but you're right. At the end of the day, you signed a plea offer, a plea deal. So we want to take a look. I know you mentioned all those forms and you're married now to U.S. citizen. We still want to take a look if it's even worth it to file. Okay, if you're eligible, that's the first step. Okay, so please, when you do schedule a meeting with us, I hope you are still eligible, of course, but schedule a meeting, any meeting really, but then upload or email us your criminal documentation. Okay, and so we can review that for you. Okay.
Yeah, I will do so.
Okay.
As I said, I studied my case a little bit after I became a paralegal.
Oh, that's right.
You did some research, and I know if I knew, I don't know now, believe me, I wouldn't have gone to prison. But, you know, it was a kind of coercion.
Mm-hmm.
My sentence, my lawyer, the prosecutor had it, you know, so it's
yeah, it's
working for the
a
prosecutor.
difficult. I
But
can't
that's
imagine difficult
history,
time.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in God, and you know, if it should have been different, it would. So that's history. Now I have to fight my battles, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's see what we can do. Okay.
Contact you guys.
Okay. Well, appreciate it. All right. Drive safe. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. You
All right.
take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
God bless.
God bless.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Well, you know what? I mean, I appreciate her words, and I appreciate her, being vulnerable. That's a lot of history right there, immigration history, and sounds like a difficult time. So let's take it. Let's on that note. I mean, man, y'all, get your family members, give your family members hugs. You just never know when life's going to be a little bit more difficult the next day. Life's too short. Let's see here. We got a couple. Hey, Amy, what's going on? Let's see. It's a lot of difficult, decisions to make too. Of course, about especially nursing home. It's tough decisions. Let's see. Alec Khan, you asked fiance processing times. I don't have that up right now, but you can check USCIS.gov and it'll tell you 129F. Let's see here. I love answering a question about processing times, but that usually is like, before when the live show gets started, because I really want to provide more value in answering more in-depth questions here. Chiku, that's right. Hey, what's up, Tina? Chiku, I remember you mentioned a little bit about that the other day. Your children in 2023 got the green card. They got the green card. That's why I was confused, Chiku. Did you schedule a meeting with my team yet? Because you said NVC put a hold. Well, then if they put a hold and they didn't get the green card, and you're saying they couldn't go to the interview. Oh, you got the green card. Okay. No, I'm the one not reading straight. Okay, you got the green card, but not your kids. Okay, so yeah, contact us. I mean, you could try to email them. Email the consulate embassy and see if they'll reschedule. Have you tried that? I'm assuming you have tried that. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Canadian Key. Okay, it seems like every day I get at least one Canadian on.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi, what's up, Canadian?
So I have a question. I guess multiple questions.
Sure.
So I got married back in December of 2023. And the person I married, let's just say once we got married, we kind of began to live, I began to live a bit of a more healthy lifestyle. He did not. So over the course of us being married, we kind of just grew apart.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some, turmoil in between that.
Sure.
Well, we were scheduled for our interview, and he didn't end up going. I ended up going.
Uh-huh.
And my lawyer advised me to file a VAWA, but he couldn't do it. So I got someone else.
Right.
So now I'm in the process of, nothing has been filed yet, but I am in the process of speaking with a VAWA lawyer.
Okay.
And this is kind of all unfolded this year. We originally filed our petitions, like the I-130 and the I-485.
Yes.
I believe back in January. Our interview was scheduled in April, and then so I'm still waiting. My case has not been denied yet, and so I'm still in the process of kind of filing this VAWA. However, I'm wondering, because it's been so much time, I have, been involved with someone else. I'm wondering if I'm able to marry someone else. And I just don't know if that's even possible right now. Or like, if I was to,
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what strategy to do. Some people ask similar question, Canadian Key, and like, should they file VAWA because still waiting on the first case decision, the 485? Well, first of all, it sounded like to be able to answer your question, it sounded like you went to the interview.
I did go to the interview.
You did go.
Yeah.
And they actually conducted the interview?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
It was very, very quick. I was in there for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then they just told me, like, they gave me an RFE to submit, evidence that I am filing for a VAWA. Unfortunately, my VAWA lawyer refused to submit anything on my behalf. So my immigration lawyer, or like my marriage lawyer, he just wrote something basically stating that they wouldn't sign anything, but that is the plan.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm still waiting. Like, nothing has been denied yet.
What is the plan? To withdraw the 485, right?
Well, not withdraw the 485. I guess it would be to, maybe the I-130. I don't know what the best plan is.
Okay.
Because
let me tell you right now.
She they don't give me answers for anything. There's like another question that I have is actually kind of in regards to them, because I'm feeling a little scammed by them. There's like, I'm feeling a little like,
okay, well, I feel like I'm y'all's lawyer's coach in a way, and I don't mind helping out a little bit here to guide y'all. The first thing, at least the second one, the VAWA lawyer, they're actually a law firm. Is that true?
They are actually a law firm. They're pretty popular here on TikTok.
Yeah.
I should say she.
Yeah, I think I probably know who you're talking about then. All right. They wear a certain color every time in their videos? Maybe.
I don't really remember.
Okay. Maybe it's someone different then. All right, well.
It's based in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you think I'm just kind of curious if you don't mind answering or consider to answer. Do you think it feels like a scam because maybe they don't contact you or respond to your questions?
They don't respond to any of my questions. And I feel like there's certain things, like there was a memorandum put in place. Like there's just things that I know that they don't. And the thing is I've never actually spoken to my lawyer. It's always people on her team.
Right.
That are doing all these intakes, and she's got specialists for this and this and this, but these people don't know or have the answers to the questions that I have. And my issue originally, I'm based out of Florida. I'm in Key West, Florida.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they're in New York. And so when I was originally, before I signed anything, I said, my worry would be like, travel fees, because if that's the case, then I would just get someone closer, to Miami. I would get someone to Miami.
Yeah.
And they said, no, don't worry. And it's like, their calls are recorded. This was something that was discussed in depth. And I said, like, this is my concern, whatever. And they said, no, don't worry. It would only be an additional $500 if, like, let's say I did get reprimanded by ICE or anything, for them to come and represent me. Anyways, I am planning to travel for work and go to Alaska. And I was just wondering, if, God forbid, anything did happen and I was reprimanded, would they, I just wanted to, make sure that we were all on the same page. And they said, no. it would be an additional $10,000
Yeah.
plus an additional $1,500 for them to come to Miami or wherever I am.
Yeah.
Which is not at all what I was told when I signed on with them.
Yeah, it could get expensive. So, and even if you end up hiring someone in a different, whoever's local, let's say you moved to Alaska and ICE was there, to pick you up or something, a lawyer over there might just charge just as much. So that's why for us, I network with other attorneys across the country. Let's say if you were a client of mine and you had an interview for the VAWA much later on, like 3 years from now or something, if the flight costs a lot of money, which the client would have to pay for, then I would just ask one of my attorney friends and colleagues over there in Miami or close to you to see how much that would be, how much they charge. And it might be less. And if it's less, I'll ask them to see if they can help you out, So that's how we approach things. I wouldn't say that default, we're the ones always going to be at a certain location. Okay. We try to do it in the best interest of the client. It's a bit different than most law firms, but I think I know who you're talking about. But if you don't mind DMing their name, I mean, I'm kind of curious because for us, another thing, I'm not trying to sell you on something, but I just share with everyone how I do it. And it's like for client meetings, we have a link, a Calendly link. You click it, you schedule anytime you want. I mean, it's not like 24/7, right? We have set time blocks, so you can get other stuff done. But yeah, that is concerning. And we also we use a shared email. So anyone on my team, if one person's out on vacation or sick, someone else could pick up and respond. And we try our best in 24 hours of a weekday. So that's concerning if you don't get the opportunity to get your questions answered.
Yeah, I think at this point, like I understand lawyers are expensive. And at this point, I feel very manipulated by them. So I would not be interested in giving them any more of my money. If I was detained, I would absolutely go with someone else.
Yeah.
But I guess back to
strategy.
My original question. If I was to get married to someone else, like I'm not yet divorced, but I have, because they told me anyways, like, you only have 2 years to file the VAWA and the VAWA is taking forever to file, but nothing has been filed yet. Am I able to get a divorce, or what would it even look like to get an annulment in the eyes of USCIS for my current pending I-130 and I-485?
So
and just marry.
So for the I-130, to answer all that, I have to give a little context of something you mentioned earlier. The I-130 is signed by your current spouse, right? The sponsor. The 485 is signed by you. So you can only withdraw the 485. You can't have, even if your current lawyer, the VAWA lawyer, or the first lawyer that represented both of you, neither of them can withdraw the I-130 unless they have the approval of your ex. Okay. So only the 485 can be withdrawn by you with your consent, with your signature. And based on what you're sharing with me, it sounds like that's really just the best thing to do is to withdraw that 485, because I personally don't expect that to be approved anyway. Okay.
It's probably not going to be, but I did receive I can't use it, but I did receive my combo card. I've gotten my social finally, and I have state ID now. So my concern would be like withdrawing that, but I guess it is linked to my current petitioner, right?
Yeah, and it technically, if your 485 application is denied, then the work permit is denied, even if like the expiration day is like next year for the work permit. Right. So in that situation, and if you have a job already, then they're typically, as far as I understand, they don't typically check and say, hey, I heard of that USCIS denied application. They wouldn't know that. So you just leave it as, some people are really nice, say, hey, let me update HR. No, don't tell them. There's no need to tell them that. Okay. I know in Florida, I think there's state E-Verify or something. So who knows? Maybe it might pop up. But yeah, it's a timing thing. The thing is, you got to, either way, whether you apply for. So the good thing about VAWA is that you don't have to get divorced yet. Okay.
Mhm.
You just have to be separated from that person. Because I think that because maybe when Congress passed that law, that they don't expect people to get divorced that quickly, before VAWA,
Mhm.
and also the 2-year restriction. Which, by the way, you might know this, but since you said the current VAWA lawyer is not as informative, that is 2 years from the incident, the abusive incident. Okay, that's a timing. That's why you got to file it sooner than later. Is it just timing thing? Even though the VAWA would take a while, because here's the deal: when people ask me, should you file this or that, or maybe even both? I mean, relationships are difficult, right? So
Mhm.
everything might be rosy right now with your current significant other, but who knows what's going to happen a year later? So that's why, at the very minimum, it's correct that there is any kind of abuse. Doesn't have to be physical. You should file for the VAWA, okay? And then
Okay.
get divorced from the current spouse, and then just naturally try to let this current significant other just let it naturally develop, right, as you normally would, and not have to feel like in a rush for immigration purposes. All right, so
Okay.
hopefully that helps. Okay.
Yeah, that does. Yeah. Yeah. It's just been, yeah, it's nice to actually just speak with someone that has the qualifications to kind of tell me
Yeah.
something. You know what
Also,
I mean?
because I have a
So-
magic wand, I can just
That's
steal my
perfect, too,
daughter's
yes.
wand. But no, seriously, I mean, I know it's difficult to find the right lawyer. I think I know who you're probably talking about, and that's sad if they don't find opportunity time for clients to ask questions. Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it almost seems like every single time I speak with them, there's some sort of like word spaghetti on and then it's
Mm-hmm.
has not been a good experience at all.
Yeah. Well, another thing, I mean, not to try to put you in a pickle or anything further, but like if anyone's comfortable there with a current attorney, and especially if you haven't filed the case yet, then you might maybe want to consider trying to get out of that situation, out of that contract. So if it's not too late.
I thought about that, and that was kind of one of my questions. Like, do I have a legal ground or grounds to actually kind of terminate that contract with them because they did lie to me?
I don't know about the lying part about how much like future cost, because not for the current case, but because I think you're referring if like ICE were to arrest you in the future.
Yes.
But check the contract. Some law firms have a non-refundable amount in a certain situation, but sometimes like if the case was already filed, then it's likely not refundable. But because your case hasn't started for VAWA, then who knows? Maybe they can give you something back, partial refund.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, take a look at the contract. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
I do have one more question. If
okay.
That's okay.
I'll try. What's
What are
going
your
on?
thoughts on traveling, like flying domestically? I mean, like I said, I would be thinking about flying
Alaska.
to Alaska.
I mean, I have only seen one video. I'm in message boards with other attorneys. We share updates, like with everything going on. I haven't seen any. I only saw one video of someone saying TSA asked about immigration status, but I've never personally had that happen. I've only shown my driver license to get through security. Okay. I've never seen ICE there. So at the gates, but they might not be wearing uniform, right? They could just be dressed down, plain clothes.
Right.
But even though Trump administration is going after everyone, it's less likely that you would be targeted if you didn't have any arrest.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're not hanging around Home Depot kind of situation. So, okay. Well, follow for the channel. Okay. Thanks, Canadian Key.
Okay.
All right. Take
So
care.
much.
You're welcome.
You as well.
I don't know though. Should she leave the Key West? That don't make sense to me. Maybe you're gonna get a lot more money in Alaska. Well, that's fine then. Okay. Well, unless her next Pookie Bear lives there. Current Pookie Bear, I mean. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of y'all that want to join live. I really appreciate that. What am I gonna do? Let me check my calendar real quick when I gotta go. Please know I do try my best to go live every day. Sometimes in the evening, I'm someone gave me the name late night attorney or graveyard shift attorney. I basically don't sleep. Of course, that is not healthy. So let me check when my next meeting is. What time is it? 2:00 Central. Man, see what I'm saying? I'm trying to. I got some other. I would love to continue hanging out with y'all, but my wife thinks I just talk to a screen. I don't think she's ever opened any of these channels. Let's see. I can get one more person in. Okay, sorry for everyone else. Let's get Oguns. I don't know anything different about that because someone asked about Dignity Act. I'll record a video about that. It's still in the early stages. Let's see. What's going on, Oguns?
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How can I help you today?
Please, actually, I have a issue with my MVCA case. I've been approved for my case for the past maybe like a year plus. So I get married to a US citizen, and I haven't received any email for my interview yet.
Okay. Are you outside America?
Yeah, I'm in Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria. Okay. And is this based on marriage to a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And it looks like you said your case was approved. You're probably referring to your petition. The first step was approved. Okay. And then,
Yeah, the first step was approved.
wonderful. And then, do you know?
The NBC was approved. The NBC was approved.
Oh, documentarily qualified. Okay, good. So it's been a year and a half maybe since that time. So has it been a year and a half since you're documentarily qualified or complete?
Yes. It's been like a year plus, a year or 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, generally across the country, or I'm sorry, across the world, we would say minimum 6 months for interview after that documentary complete. Have you emailed the Lagos embassy?
Yeah, I've tried. I've emailed them. I've tried to email them several times.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
So
waiting for my interview.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said I'm only waiting for my
Only
interview.
waiting for your interview. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, sounds good. So when it's 1 year waiting after documentarily complete email, then we tell people, okay, we can file a mandamus lawsuit for unreasonable delay. But it's a different service. It's not. So if you already have a lawyer, this is a different service for this. So, but it is possible. This is the last possible legal option to get that interview sooner. Mandamus lawsuit. Okay. So if anyone wants to learn more about that, if you go to my profile in the LINK link, we do have a complimentary guide, so you can learn more about the mandamus lawsuit. Okay. All right. Because I
follow you already.
Okay.
I follow you already.
Thank you.
I would like to for you to guide me more about this.
Sure. Yeah. I try to talk more about mandamus when I get a chance, but I just try to answer all the questions I can. All righty. Well, thank you, Oguns. Wish you all the best.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So yeah, Oguns, you can go ahead and schedule a meeting if you want. If you and your spouse are ready, just take care of it, okay? Tumbleweeds are real. You love watching my show. I mean, I need to get some choreography up in here. I need to bring y'all some more entertainment. Where can we connect? We could connect here. Or you can schedule a meeting. Screenshot the phone number. Okay. Anyone interested? I know I see that question. Screenshot the number during the live show. You can, if you just text in right now, if you want to meet. Now, please know these pricing is not with me. Okay, for the less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, that's not with me. The best way to talk to me is here on the live, as a comment on a video, or all the way back, or you have to schedule a strategy meeting with an attorney, which mine are this pricing. Okay. Look, the value of the meeting is like, we try our best. We do not waste any time. Every minute in a meeting with us, attorney or client care specialist, it's value. You're going to know if you're eligible or not. If my client care specialist is not able to verify, and maybe one of our attorneys did not have a moment to review your file, we try our best to do that, first of all. But if we do, if they don't, they will call you back the next day. Okay. Look, y'all, remember, I don't really sleep. My family doesn't like that. They like it when I sleep. So I do need to go to bed. Okay. I do need to go to the next meeting. I really appreciate y'all. If you've been here for 30 seconds, if you don't mind, and you're still here, go ahead and click the plus sign in your respective channel. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful day. Okay. Take care. Peace.